welcome back to the channel. Blackout Bill here. Finally finishing up the ramp. I keep saying that every video, but today we're literally gonna put the valve covers back on. We're gonna put the spark plugs in. We're gonna dielectric grease all the tips and everything. We're gonna put the coils back on top. We're gonna wire everything back together. We're gonna engineer some bolts for the bolts that wouldn't work on the valve covers, which are super hard to find. I did end up finding a part number. They're $4 a bolt, $4.50 a bolt, but it came out to like 50 bucks. So I went to Home Depot. We'll see if my repair holds. I'm gonna guess not, but we'll see. We'll definitely get the truck running and we'll check for leaks, and I'll order those bolts and maybe do a swap out. In the meantime, let's get to work. At this point, I've already gotten the covers off in the previous videos, and I just wanted to show how they cleaned up. I didn't 100% get to them, but they look 10 times better. You gotta say, after taking out the first spark plug, you could definitely see it's amazing this truck ran so smooth. It's not that it's bad, but it's just worn. You could just tell they're worn. There's a little electrode left. But let's take the rest of them out. I had no idea how deafening the freaking crickets are, or whatever bug is chirping in the background. I apologize for that background noise. Hopefully we can eliminate most of it. Here's 14 of the 16 monsters, and they're supposed to be gapped to 45 thousandths of an inch. There's the new plug gapped properly, and it's awful. See how much diode is on the new one? The new ones are all range from barely anything, and we're talking 5 thousandths of a gap. Look at the size of that. So these definitely had to be changed. I don't think they've ever been changed in the lifetime of the truck. I don't know how that's possible, but they're all gone. And then I am noticing a little bit of oil on cylinder like 7 or 6, but just on the threads, not on the spark plug itself. So I think my piston rings are in pretty decent shape. Okay, so we have both valve covers cleaned up, and I got all the spark plugs in on the right side. That bolt all the way in the back was the hardest because it was rounded and I couldn't get a nut socket on there, and it was tough. I ended up using a specialty socket. It was a 3/8 drive socket with a star pattern, and it gripped in all the right places and was short enough to work, as opposed to a 1/4 inch drive with a long, deep extension, because these bolts have the fittings on the end. So you needed a long. With the 1/4 inch drive, you needed the longer socket. With the 3/8 drive, you only need a small one, but I couldn't find an 8mm, and I used the specialty one, so it worked good. So the spark plugs are in on the right. So that valve cover is ready to go back on. And then this left side, where we have to put all the new spark plugs in, and we can put that cover on. I don't have to roll that. Here's our new spark plugs, all gapped properly. And then these are the bolts I could save. I was able to save 13 of them. I lost about 5, and 4 were too rough to go back on. They were real rusted. So I was able to clean up some of these with the wire wheel, like this one. You can see the top's all shredded up. So if these had come out nicely, I could have put a nut on the top and just reused it with the new nut. But I had to beat the threads up with the vice grips. So, but this one cleaned up nice, where I got some gripping material for the 8mm. These are the worst of them. I'm gonna put the best ones all the way in the back, and then I went to Home Depot and I grabbed some specialty nuts and bolts and some rubber grommets. We're gonna try to specialty engineer this and see what we got, because the bolts online, I need 7 of them. They're $4 a piece. We are adding dielectric grease to spark plugs. Spark plugs I went with a Champion. These should be base. Some people say use these or the NGKs with the copper. But this truck, I'm trying to go kind of like OEM spec here. This is the Champion. I went with RE14M CC4. With the grommet and everything. And that's like 30 bucks. For $7, that's absurd. $30, $4 for a bolt. So I went to Home Depot. I picked up everything for like 10 bucks. See how it works. after last night's bang out, because it's supposed to rain today, I got this side all together. I literally came out about a half hour ago and just banged it out, trying to beat the rain. So actually, I kind of found myself a nice little perch. It's supposed to stand on the bumper and leaning over. If you stick your foot, once you get the clearance issues, stick your right foot on the frame rail there, squeeze it in all those wires there, and then you kind of straddle the support here. It's actually a relatively comfortable working surface. You're still leaning over and your back hurts and everything, but you can get to all the bolts. I actually didn't have to climb underneath to tighten that one all the way back on the fender wall. I just reached in there and grabbed it. Yeah, my arms are scraped to hell, but at least the job is done. So we're gonna get the coil packs and start reassembling the coil packs there. Plug them all in, and this baby will be ready for its first startup. Of course, we'll rehook up the intake. See if she starts. There she is. 237 and counting. Funny story, Scotty Kilmer just posted a video about how his Toyota finally broke. I got all upset. I said, no, the challenge is over, I win. It was his other Toyota. Little clickbaiting punk. Little clickbaiting punk. All right, let's see. 237. A little bit hard starting, but the plugs are fresh and new. It's running. We just gotta check for those oil leaks. That's for evap. I'll even scan the codes and show you. Shouldn't be any misfires. Doesn't sound like it's misfiring. Sounds like it's running on all 8. Probably the hardest start this truck's had in years. It's probably not used to the correct gap. Probably not used to the right gap. The computer's probably adjusted, probably wasting gas mileage. The main thing's gonna be to see if oil's dripping from those covers. Because some of my bolts are not stock, like I was telling you. That popped off already. Looking at manifold leaks. A half hour now. I don't see any more smoke. Burned off whatever oil is kind of laid on there. But I can kind of smell something. Not from this side. A little from this side, not really sure, but it's running, looks good. Next step is we're gonna put it on the wheel, take it for a test drive, test all my universal joints. My hood prop. Cleaned up my work area. My third workbench. Nasty. This is paint. Put that down. Yuck. Jacked it up, get the stands out, and take her for a ride. Okay guys, test drive is working out awesome. You definitely cannot hear the squeaking of the U-joint when you take off. I'm just getting that sound, that whoop, 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 that little squeaking noise. That's fun. Not hearing much of anything. There's no vibrations. Nice and smooth, no clunks. Truck's pulling, as driving and pulling is perfect as it always has. And now it's got 16 fresh spark plugs to pull a spark off of. Maybe I'll get a mile or two extra gas mileage. I'll have to check the average. But that's it. Repair is done. 3 brand new universal joints where it matters. New spark plugs, valve cover gasket, not leaking oil onto my, not wasting oil, A. B, I'm not leaking oil onto my exhaust manifold, stinking up everything. That's it, man. That's awesome. We're gonna get this truck. Ignore that gas cap. I don't know if you guys remember, but I changed the fuel pump in this twice, and the second time I knocked one of the tips off the plastic vapor canister, so I lost. I'm getting evap codes, but in New Jersey they changed it where if your truck weighs 8,000 pounds or more and is a certain year, you don't have to get it inspected. So I can leave that check engine light on, and I check the codes periodically, make sure that's only what it is. The service 4-wheel drive light, that's coming up next. That'll be the next repair. Something is wrong with my electrical system where it shifts automatically, so I gotta buy a new motor. I haven't gotten a new motor yet. I bought a used one, but it broke right away, so that'll be the next repair. But until the next video, appreciate you guys hanging around, enduring me as always. Check me out for more repair videos and fun stuff. Subscribe if you can. 500's right around the corner. I am jacked and excited for that. And we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out.